Here it is, the story, the big old trade that made me cry yesterday. I did not want this to happen. I really wanted Teddy Bridgewater to be in Carolina next season. Let that man run it back again with a full, healthy running back that's very, very good, folks. Christian McCaffrey with a second-year head coach now that you've gotten kind of the kinks and the bugs figured out of that year one. Let him run it back. But I guess they've got other plans. So here it is. The Jets trade quarterback Sam Darnold to the Panthers in exchange for a 2021, this year, 6th-round pick, and then next year, 2nd-round pick and 4th-round pick. So let's start there with the compensation of Sam Darnold. A 6th-round pick in this year's draft, that's absolutely nothing. I would trade my 6th-round picks for dirt in this league. So yes, the Panthers the Panthers won the trade there, of really giving up nothing in this year's draft. Now, when we talk about what happens next season, the 2nd-round pick, it's okay. That's basically all it is. A 6th-round pick and a 4th-round pick, that's really kind of garbage. You can make those up by just kind of trading, any one of your players, that you were going to cut. You can kind of trade them and get one of those picks back, a deep pick back for that. So I'm not really too concerned with those 6th and 4th-round pick. Really, the only valuable pick here is next year's 2nd-round pick. But still, at the same time, it's a 2nd-round pick, and this is a potential quarterback. So I would say the Panthers won the trade all day. The Jets also kind of want. I mean, it definitely works out for both teams, I guess. If the Panthers truly believe in Sam Darnold, then it's a win for both teams. I don't think Sam Darnold's that much of an upgrade over Teddy Bridgewater, so I'm saying the Jets won the trade. But if we're just kind of looking at both sides, Panthers, if they truly believe in Sam Darnold, they really didn't give up that much for him. So not terrible on both sides here. Now, Robert Saleh they're definitely drafting a quarterback now at number 2. We just talked about it yesterday, kind of ruined that little segment that we had, but, talking about, the Jets keeping Sam Darnold and drafting a quarterback to kind of help out Robert Saleh, maybe ease his transition to a head coach a little bit, but he's going in head first. He's diving in head first. He's like, you know what? This is my team now. I don't want this guy. I don't know who the hell this quarterback is. I didn't sign up for that. I signed up to be the head coach and choose my own quarterback. So, Sammy D, you're out of here, and I'm going to start fresh by drafting my own quarterback. So we'll see what Robert Saleh does, who he's going to take. I think that's going to definitely hurt the 49ers at number 3 now, because we know the 49ers are going to draft a quarterback as well, and now the Jets are like, we're really not sure what we're doing, but we see the 49ers trading all their picks to get up to number 3. I think we could go for a quarterback too. And which one was he looking at? The 49ers? Oh, Zach Wilson? Yeah, I think we're going to take a second look at him as well. So we'll see what the Jets do here. I mean, they're in the perfect position to kind of screw over the 49ers. And Robert Saleh, I don't know too much about this man, but I wouldn't put it past him that he may be, this is what the 49ers are doing? Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it before him because I got the number 2 pick and I'm going to screw them. So we'll see what happens. It's definitely going to be super interesting come draft night, what the Jets try to decide. And if the 49ers are dead set on one of the kind of 2 available quarterbacks of Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, we'll see if the Jets kind of go after the quarterback that the 49ers actually wanted. That's why the one that they actually traded up to get in the draft. So very interesting here. What the Jets will do at the number 2 pick, but they're not keeping Sam Darnold. They got some nice extra draft picks for the next 2 seasons, so we'll see how Robert Saleh can kind of go and rebuild this team. But overall, the Jets maybe won the trade, maybe 51% compared to 49% with the Panthers. So that's the trade. Sam Darnold to the Panthers. Now let's start talking about why. Why the heck did they make this trade? If we just look up straight up stats between Sam Darnold and Teddy Bridgewater, I'm not seeing a big old difference, folks. Now, Sam Darnold has had Todd Bowles. He got drafted by Todd Bowles, who's a defensive-minded head coach and really did not work out. And then Adam Gase, the quarterback guru, the offensive savior. He can turn any garbage quarterback into Peyton Manning, because that's what he did. I mean, Adam Gase worked with Peyton Manning, so Adam Gase must have been the only reason for that success. I've never bought that narrative, but ESPN ran with that narrative for like 4 straight seasons for some reason. So Sam Darnold has definitely not had the great coaching behind him to elevate his own play here. 3 seasons with the Jets. First year went 4-9, second year went 7-6, and then just last year 2-10. So let's get the elephant out of the room. The man can't even stay healthy. He's never even played a full 16-game season, but the Panthers are like, this is our guy. We'll get rid of Teddy Bridgewater and kind of ruin all that progress year one that we built without a running back and go with Sam Darnold, who can't even stay healthy. Okay, alrighty. And then let's look at the completion percentage. We say 62 to 65 is good in this league. You got to be somewhere in between there. Obviously, anything better than 65 is fantastic. But Sam Darnold here, first year 57%, second year 61.9%. So right on that cutoff of 62. So I guess we can kind of give it to him. But then he floundered last season, took a step back at 59% completion percentage in 2020. And this is the season where completion percentage was inflated, folks. Josh Allen just threw 69%. Teddy Bridgewater just threw 69% last season. But you're going with Sam Darnold, who's throwing 59% completion percentage, can't even stay healthy for an entire season? Okay, Carolina, if that's your prerogative. And now let's look at these touchdown to interception ratios for Sam Darnold. First year, 2018, 17 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Trash! That's basically 1-to-1. You've got to be 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio at least, and I really don't even want to see you in double-digit interceptions. But there's Sam Darnold, 15 picks, year one. All right, did he get better in 2019? A little bit. 19 touchdowns, but still 13 interceptions. So a little bit better, but still way too many turnovers. Did he clean it up this season in 2020? No. 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That's negative touchdown to interception ratio. That's horrible. I can't even think about doing that. You should be cut immediately from the NFL if you ever do this. If you ever have more interceptions than passing touchdowns, you should never be allowed to play quarterback in this league again. And plus, a little bit of a, and he doesn't support the troops, folks. 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Don't you think that's a coincidence? I don't think so. So Sam Darnold here, nothing truly great that we're seeing. So let's see what Teddy Bridgewater was doing last season for the Panthers. Was it that much better than what Sam Darnold did? No, not that much better, but we're talking about Teddy Bridgewater first year with a new team. Matt Rhule, a new head coach in the NFL. He's been a college head coach for his entire career, but now this is his first time in the pros, and Teddy Bridgewater didn't even have his kind of safety valve, Christian McCaffrey, for the entire season. So, and I would say this is a decent performance here with all things considered here of this Panthers organization, doing the rebuild, getting rid of, their big old previous past of Ron Rivera and Cam Newton, bringing in a head coach from college, bringing in a quarterback that, came back from an injury, proved that he could back up Drew Brees, made it work there in the Saints organization, and now is in a new team with a new head coach and not having kind of your face of the franchise of Christian McCaffrey there. So this is what Teddy Bridgewater did last season, 4-11, and he definitely wasn't clutch last season. That is the one knock that we can kind of say that Teddy Bridgewater did. I mean, he just did not get it done in the clutch. All of these games were kind of one possession, so he did keep them close, but he just could not execute down the stretch or before halftime to get some points. That is the only knock that we saw in Teddy Bridgewater last season, but he's at 69% completion percentage. I mean, folks, that's great. Look at this man's completion percentage his entire career. First year, 64%. Second year, 65%. Then third year, that was his injury year. It carried over to 2018. And then 2019, when he started to back up for Drew Brees, went 5-0 and threw 67% completion percentage. And that leads to last year, where he threw 69% completion percentage. So we're seeing greatness here. These are great numbers of completion percentage. And that was before the inflated year that Sam Darnold did not take advantage of this year. So, 4-11 record, not great. Completion percentage was there. 3,700 yards. We'll take that, very close to 4,000, and he only played 15 games. So, Yeah, extra game potentially gets him to that 4,000 mark, which is fantastic. Touchdown to interception ratio definitely needs to be a little bit better here. 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So that's definitely something Teddy Bridgewater needs to work on, cut down on the interceptions, get more passing touchdowns. But the infrastructure was all there for Teddy Bridgewater to make the next leap. But the Panthers are going with Sam Darnold for some reason. What are they seeing in Sam Darnold that's so much better than Teddy Bridgewater? I'm not seeing it. I'm truly not seeing it. All right, let's also go into what happened schedule-wise this season. Was Sam Darnold keeping the Jets into some of these games? Were these competitive games here? Let's see what the Jets were doing this season with Sam Darnold. First game against the Bills, they lose 17-27. 2-possession game there. Not great. Kind of a blowout. Second game, losing against the 49ers, 31-13. That's a blowout. Then they face the Colts, lose 7-36, a blowout. So he's not even being competitive in some of these games here. Against Denver, losing 28-37. Once again, a 2-possession game. They're not the greatest. Then against Arizona, 10-30. They lose 10-30, folks. That is a blowout. Then they face Miami. They lose 0-24, folks. I mean, getting blown out here, not putting up any points offensively. That's what the Panthers want. A quarterback that can't get any production offensively. Let's keep going here with the schedule. Against Buffalo, they lose 10-18. All right, 1-possession game, little close there. We'll give it to Sammy D there. But then he's back the next week, losing against the Chiefs 9-35. I mean, folks, blowouts, not competitive. Then we get the Patriots. They lose 27-30. All right, but he didn't even play that game. So, and then the Chargers didn't play that game either. They lose 28-24. So a little bit competitive here in the games that Sam Darnold didn't play. I have to go back to the game against Arizona and Miami. Sam Darnold did not play in that 10-30 blowout loss, in the Miami 0-24 blowout loss. So strike those from the record. But then let's keep going here. The second time against Miami, they lose 3-20, non-competitive. Then they lose 28-31 against the Raiders. They lose 3-40 against the Seahawks. I mean, folks, not being competitive here down the stretch. The 2 games they won, they beat the Rams 23-20. He had 70% completion percentage, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Great game there. Then they also beat Cleveland down the stretch 23-16. But once again, he threw 50% completion percentage. Not great. He threw 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So I'll give him that. But that completion percentage, that's something that we've seen not great by him all of his career. And then the last game of the season against New England, last game laid all on the line, and they kind of got blown out there, 14-28, 2 possessions. So, and he threw 2 interceptions that game. So not seeing anything truly great here by Sam Darnold. Let's see what Teddy Bridgewater did this season in terms of games and performance. Was he keeping it close? Let's see what we get here. Opens up the season losing 30-34 against the Raiders. Alrighty, a 1-possession game. Against Tampa Bay, they kind of got blown out a little bit. They lose 17-31. But that's against the Super Bowl champions, folks. I can kind of forgive a little bit of a blowout loss there. But then they're back. They're winning. They're winning games early in the season. They started 3-2. That's pretty decent. Sam Darnold starting 0-5. Not the greatest. So they get on a nice little 3-game winning streak here, winning 21-16, winning 31-21 against the Cardinals, winning 23-16 over Atlanta. Then they lose to Chicago 16-23, 1-possession game. They lose to the Saints 24-27, 1-possession game. They lose against the Cardinals 17-25, 1-possession game. They lose against the Chiefs 31-33, 1-possession games, keeping up offensively with the Chiefs. Come on. Teddy Bridgewater threw 73% and 310 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks against the Chiefs, keeping up offensively. Sam Darnold has not shown that all season. Then we go to Tampa Bay again. They lose 23-46, so once again a blowout against the Bucs, but we're talking about a Super Bowl champion defense, and he still threw 75%. Threw an interception, unfortunately, but still decently kind of got it done against the Bucs a little bit. All right, the one game they didn't play, the one game he didn't play this season, they did win. So a little bit of a knock there, let's say that, because they beat Detroit 20-0, but it's against the Lions. I think Teddy B could have beaten the Lions. All right, let's keep going on here. They lose against the Vikings 27-28, 1-point loss, very close there. They lose against Denver 27-32, 1-possession game. They lose against Green Bay 16-24, 1-possession game. They beat Washington 20-17, and then the last game of the season they get blown out by the Saints 7-33. So their only blowout losses, they only had 2, or they had 3. 3 blowout losses. Two came against Super Bowl champions of the Bucks, and the other one came against the Saints the last week where they had nothing to kind of play for. So overall, I'm truly not seeing what I don't know what Matt Rhule's thinking, honestly. I'm not seeing the distinctive differences between Sam Darnold and Teddy Bridgewater that warrants a trade right now. When you're a new coach and you're already switching quarterbacks like they're freaking playing cards out here, I'm not getting it. And now let's kind of wrap it up here, because Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Darnold do have something in common, and that's the wide receiver, Robbie Anderson. He started his career with the Jets. Sam Darnold kind of came in. When did Sam Darnold come in? 2017 or 2018? Sam Darnold came in at 2018, and Robbie Anderson has been there for 2 seasons. So here we go. 2018 was Sam Darnold's first experience with Robbie Anderson, and he throws 752 yards and 6 touchdowns. And he has a catch percentage of 53%. Not great for Sam Darnold. So Sam Darnold a little less accurate there with Robbie Anderson. And then in 2019, also Sam Darnold to Robbie Anderson. Once again, only 779 yards, so getting stuck there. Not a 1,000-yard receiver with Sam Darnold. 5 touchdowns, and once again, 54% completion catch percentage. So, just kind of hit and miss. Every other throw by Sam Darnold to Robbie Anderson is basically a drop in a catch. So kind of not very great there. And then Teddy Bridgewater has Robbie Anderson for 1 season, his first season with Robbie Anderson, his first and only season throwing to Robbie Anderson, makes him a 1,000-yard receiver right off the rip. No problem there. 1,096 total yards for Robbie Anderson this season. He only had 3 touchdowns, but that's going back to our knock on Teddy Bridgewater of just kind of not getting it done in the red zone, not being able to kind of score touchdowns instead of settling for field goals. So, that's already a knock that we've said about him. But he got him the yards, and look at this catch percentage, 69% catch percentage. So Teddy Bridgewater's throwing more accurate balls to Robbie Anderson for him to catch more yards. So, folks, what are we talking about here? I'm truly not believing in Matt Rhule anymore. I would have given Teddy Bridgewater a second chance here. I didn't see too much here from Teddy Bridgewater that made me think, oh my God, I've got to get rid of this man as soon as possible and take a chance on a quarterback that hasn't proven anything in this league. So I'm truly not seeing it here. The numbers, the stats, the film. Let's watch here. Let's watch what Sam Darnold does. Let's see all of his mistakes, because we're talking about Teddy Bridgewater's mistakes of not capitalizing by scoring touchdowns. Let's see what Sam Darnold's decision-making is looking like out here. We get all of Sam Darnold's 2020 interceptions here, so let's look at what this man is doing. Let's see what Matt Rhule is going to have to overcome and try to fix what Sam Darnold is doing out here on the field. So here we go. First one. First of 11 out here, escaping the pocket, throws back over to the middle of the field in triple coverage. That's the kind of decision-making you want from Sam Darnold there? Alrighty. People knock Teddy Bridgewater for making the same thing, so what is the difference, Matt Rhule? What is truly the difference here? I'm not seeing it. Alrighty, let's see what the second interception is looking like by Sam Darnold here. Alrighty, against the Colts, going to the sideline, and look at this. This is great coverage. Look to be a predetermined read. Look at he's staring down his receiver right from the rip, staring him down, and the corner just kind of jumps the ball. That's a pick. Can he return it all the way for the 6 points? I think he's going to. Yes, sir. So Sam Darnold is scoring for the other team. Sam Darnold wasn't even competitive in all these games, and he's giving free points to the other teams and not being able to make up those points later in the game. All right, Matt Rhule, that's what you want. Now we get Sam Darnold in the red zone. Pick. Throwing it in double coverage. Not seeing the other defender slide over. Pick in the end zone. Not great. All right, here we go. Sam Darnold again. Colts defense just eating this man alive. The third pick by this Colts defense. Jeez Louise. Can we talk about the Colts being good? I'm telling you, they're going to get to the AFC Championship game, folks. It's locked in. All right, here we go. The second meeting against the Bills this time. Sam Darnold throwing flat-footed. Look at him. He's not even stepping into this throw. How lackadaisical. How lazy of a throw is this? You're just giving away free points, free turnovers for the opponent. Now they're down 10-18 here against the Bills again. throws the ball low at the line of scrimmage, gets tipped up by a lineman, and it just gets picked off. That's not totally his fault, but still not a great look. Let's keep going here. Yes, sir, against the Dolphins. You knew that Finns had to get into some of this action. If people are giving away free picks, the Dolphins are definitely going to be getting some of those. So here we go. Just kind of throwing. I don't even know who he's throwing to here. It's so inaccurate. Tried to throw back inside, and that's where the defense is. So Sam Darnold on 3rd and 8 trying to do something. He just makes bad decisions here against the Dolphins. Again, counted as 2. Chalk up 2 interceptions for the Finns. Oh, yeah. Bad. I mean, where is he throwing to? Does he think that these players are open? I mean, he's having predetermined reads out here. I'm not liking that at all, but Matt Rhule loves it, I guess. All right. Man, here he goes against the Patriots. Where is he throwing? This is like quadruple coverage. There is nothing open. Look at how many Patriots players are down the field where he throws this. Look at this frame. Can somebody look at this frame? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Patriots players all in a single frame with one lone white Jets jersey out here, and it's not even close, man. It's not even close out here. We got one more. We got one more pick by Sammy D. What's the last one? Here we go. Against the Patriots again. Double covered in the end zone. Let's see where this one was. Once again, getting blown out 28-14 with 3 minutes left. Non-competitive games. If that's what you want as your quarterback, non-competitiveness, Matt Rhule's got the perfect guy. So, I don't know, man. I'm not buying it. I'm not seeing it. We'll see if Sam Darnold is kind of a product of, Adam Gase being absolutely trash, and maybe Sam Darnold's actually good and can make it work with Matt Rhule. But what we've seen so far, and that's what I want, proven talent in this league, I think there's more provenness of Teddy Bridgewater over Sam Darnold. So, all right, but now that brings up the question here. Where is Teddy Bridgewater going to go? And I forgot to bring up this quote. Here we go. Panthers general manager Scott Fitterer on trading Sam Darnold. Here we go. Trading for Sam Darnold. Quote, I just think in this offense with Joe Brady and Matt Rhule, the weapons that we have around him, that he can take the next step with us. The weapons that you have around him, he couldn't make Robbie Anderson work before. Come on. Oh, man, I don't get it. I do not get it, and I do not like it. And then we get a picture of him, a Photoshop picture of him in a Panthers jersey. I don't like it. I don't think he looks good. So, Sam Darnold, keep that in mind. You're not looking good out there when you're on the field. So, when you look good, you play good. If you're not looking good, you're still not going to be playing good out there. And now that brings up, where can Teddy Bridgewater go now? So here we go. The Panthers are letting Teddy talk with other teams to facilitate a trade. So for that, I applaud the Panthers. Very well done. Don't kind of keep him hostage and keep him as your backup, just in case Sam Darnold goes down, which he will go down because we've seen him not play an entire season before. So love that Teddy Bridgewater is going to be able to kind of decide his own destiny here. So let's quickly go over to see what is the quarterback options teams looking like right now. Who needs a quarterback? So let's go through and see where Teddy Bridgewater could possibly go. Seattle, no, they got Russell Wilson. Rams, no, they got Matthew Stafford. Cardinals, no, they got Kyler Murray. 49ers, no, they sold out their future to draft a quarterback. They're not going to take Teddy Bridgewater. Alrighty, let's keep going here. The Saints, they've already got their own quarterback controversy. Now, it would be interesting if Teddy Bridgewater goes back to the Saints because they have history together. How crazy would that would be? I don't think that happens, but I would say it's probably like a 2% probability of happening because they know each other. If nobody impresses really Sean Payton between Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, maybe Sean Payton's like, you know what, let's get Teddy back in here. Then we can keep Taysom Hill as the tight end, and we can have Jameis Winston as a backup, keep on learning for Jameis. So that'd be an interesting decision if the Saints do that. The Bucs, no, they've got Tommy B. Panthers, obviously not. The Falcons, seems like they're keeping up with Matt Ryan, and we are going to have a story a little bit later where they are interested in trading back. So definitely not going to be drafting a quarterback, and it seems like they're going to be keeping Matt Ryan. So don't expect him to go to the Falcons. Washington, they just brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick to back up Terry McLaurin. Well, it's an open quarterback competition, but they got two decent quarterbacks over there in Washington. Giants got Daniel Jones. Dak Prescott's back for the Cowboys. Jalen Hurts is the quarterback for the Eagles. For the Packers, they got Aaron Rodgers. The Bears, yes, this is what you do. Matt Nagy in the general manager for the Bears. You swallow your pride and admit you made a mistake on that Andy Dalton pickup, and you get Teddy Bridgewater. You trade Andy Dalton for Teddy Bridgewater, a nice backup for Sam Darnold and Andy Dalton, and the Bears get a definitely upgrade at quarterback for Teddy Bridgewater. You swallow your pride, Bears. You swallow your pride and get Teddy Bridgewater. The Vikings, seems like they're keeping Kirk Cousins for at least one more year. The Lions, they just got Jared Goff. They're going to probably, or just draft a quarterback. They haven't kind of made that initial, but they're not. They're either going to go with somebody where the new head coach, I'm blanking on the name for the Lions, that can just make his own determination at the quarterback by drafting his own quarterback, or they've got Jared Goff there as well. Titans, they still got Ryan Tannehill. Colts, they just got Carson Wentz. Texans, potential there. Now, there is potential there for the Texans depending on what's happening with Deshaun Watson. But until we hear from Deshaun Watson, we're going to say that as no vacancy for quarterback at the Texans. The Jags, they're drafting Trevor Lawrence. The Bills, they've got Josh Allen. The Dolphins have two of the Patriots. Okay, now we're talking. Have, Teddy Bridgewater and Cam Newton on the same team. That would probably be pretty nice, having open quarterback competition. And I would expect Teddy Bridgewater beats out Cam Newton. But I don't really see that happening. The Jets, obviously not. Or that's where he is right now. Or no. Forget about that. They're drafting a quarterback. Sorry about that. The Steelers, all right, possible interest here because we know this is Big Ben's final season. It's got to be his last season here. So maybe Mike Tomlin brings Teddy Bridgewater in to be the backup this season, then start next season. I could see that happening. So far, if he wants to be a starter, has to go to the Bears, and a potential great backup spot is the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens got Lamar Jackson. The Browns have Baker Mayfield. The Bengals have Joe Burrow. The Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. The Raiders have Derek Carr. The Chargers have Justin Herbert, and the Broncos. All right, here's another great opening. Drew Lock, he's really shown us nothing great, and he had his second season. He kind of had his second season, his second chance to get it right, and he still didn't make it right. So I would say the Broncos, if they kind of want a win-now quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, maybe draft a quarterback to kind of sit behind Teddy Bridgewater and warm up and work and get acclimated to this league. I definitely think that could happen. So there are potential starting spots for Teddy Bridgewater here. The Bears, if they swallow their pride and admit they made the wrong decision. The Broncos, if they kind of want to move off of Drew Lock, and then a nice backup spot with the Steelers if he wants to start next season. So I still think there is a possibility of Teddy Bridgewater starting in this league this season, which I definitely hope so, because I want to see how this man can do with a second full season. No kind of, all right, I started a season, all right, now I have to take another year off because there's no opening spots, and then I have to go, all right, I finally get my shot 2 years from now, but now I'm kind of back at square one, not really kind of warmed up, not in the rotation, not in the rhythm, and then I flounder again, and then I'm back to square one where I am right now. So, Matt Rhule, I disapprove. I disapprove Matt Rhule. We'll leave it at that. But I'm definitely rooting for Teddy Bridgewater. Let's leave it at that. I'm rooting for Teddy B to get back out there, man. All right, and Matt Rhule, I kind of wish you don't have success, and I kind of hope you get fired. Is that a little bit too far? Should I have left it at good luck, Teddy Bridgewater? All right, let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. I'm rooting for Teddy Bridgewater, and I hope that Matt Rhule loses his job now. We'll leave it at that.